Unscripted, unshackled, uncouth.
What you're about to hear is for more mature audiences only.
It's Miguel and Holly, Uncensored.
Hello and welcome to Miguel and Holly Uncensored. It is our off-air podcast that we do on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But today, it's a special Halloween edition.
Is that why you sound like that?
Why do I sound like this, Holly?
Because Miguel has a whole ass rubber mask over his head.
Yeah.
And it looks like a baby, but like a grown man baby, like a giant baby's head.
Right.
With like slits for eyes. And it's very unsettling. And I don't like it at all. And then he's trying to make it go with his Ravenclaw Hogwarts robe.
It kind of goes. It's very creepy in the fucking glasses.
I guess it's kind of giving Voldemort.
Yeah. Like
You know,
baby Voldemort.
Baby Voldemort. like the part of Voldemort that was growing out the back of Quirrell's head.
That's right.
That part.
That could be it. That's who I am.
Yeah, that's what you look like. Or like the part of Voldemort that was in Harry that got jettisoned out to that train station. Either one. Ew, Miguel, it's so gross. Like, it's very, I just keep saying unsettling. It's unsettling. It's like when something's like, oh, I forgot what it's called. It's called the something valley, where cartoons that look too much like humans or dolls that look too much like humans, people don't like it. Like dolls that look like just baby dolls, that's fine. But then there's like a valley where you've got stuff that looks like a ventriloquist dummy where it looks pretty human but also still not, and humans don't like that. Like we have a fight or flight response. And then you get to like the other curvature end of it where they have perfected like, you know, CGI video games and stuff like that, and that's okay. But it's the stuff that looks human that's not quite human that freaks us out. That's what this is.
There used to be a club in Miami that was actually very cool. It was called House. And this was back in like my college years. So like, I don't know, 2015 or so. They would have people dressed up with that same mask, just walking around.
Why?
Super weird. But the aesthetic of the club was great. But they had their workers wear those masks.
Wait, was it like
weird
around Halloween that they would do this?
No, it was just their thing.
What? Okay.
It's not working. Like it's not up and running anymore.
All right. Well.
Wait, what's on
probably
the
The club.
Oh, yeah.
Probably
Like,
because you had people wearing that mask.
Right.
would a Halloween themed bar work? Because you know they have like Christmas bars.
But they don't have Christmas bars all year round, do they?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
There's one in Wilton Manors. I don't know if it's still up, but for a good 5 or 6 years, it was a year-round Christmas themed bar.
It's very hard. I'm having to focus a lot on what you're saying because I can't look at you and then I have to hear your muffled. Okay, it's fine. I didn't know that. I would love to go to a Christmas themed bar. And yes, they could absolutely pull off a Halloween themed bar all year round.
Are you pulling something up, Kelbin?
Yeah, I was just trying to show you the picture of the people.
Wait, I'm trying to get my glasses on so I can see properly. I can't see.
Somebody did say it looked like Gilbert Gottfried. It kind of does. Who was it? It was Stefan who said that. Wait a second. Why is there a lady with her leg up on this person wearing one of these baby masks?
And it was just it was June 19th, 2016. Happy Father's Day.
No. Everything about it is wrong. Like
I never understood why.
I don't either. It's just, you know what it kind of reminds me of? And forgive me because I know this is like a beloved what's it called? Like anime film. Oh shit. I don't remember the name of it. Hold on. Let me look. Anime. What's it called? No, movie.
Who's Gilbert Godfrey? Hold on, give me a sec.
He's the guy that used to talk like he was the Earthling duck.
He was also Iago in Aladdin, where he'd be like Jafar.
Oh no.
Polly want to crack a shove it down your throat. I can't do it. Anyway, okay. So it also reminds me, and I know people love this movie.
Bitch, shut up.
He took.
I just took the mask.
Bitch. So the anime movie is called Spirited Away, and I apologize if you're a huge anime type person because I think people like cling to this movie. But I saw it once. I had this ex-boyfriend when I was like 23 years old, who was like 10 years older than me, and I'm pretty sure I was the other woman in that relationship. But that's neither here nor there. He was weird because he would not sleep at night. He was like insomniac. And so when I would spend the night, he'd be up all night, like weirdly, like doing stuff on his computer and like having this movie Spirited Away on in the background. Now, I had never had any experience with any kind of like, Japanese like anime like this before. And it scared the fuck out of me. I'll be honest with you. It was so scary. Like I didn't like any concept of it. It was very like that mask to me. It felt very unsettling. I didn't like the theme because the girl couldn't get back from like the spirit world that she went into. And so that mask feels like that weird, trippy sort of like anime character.
The oval one?
Like any of them. There was like a giant pig, I think. Like there was like that's not for me. I'm glad for people that like it and I'm happy about them, but like that's not for me. So I apologize. I'm not like dissing it. It's just not.
She said what you like is trash.
I didn't say that.
All right, we got to go pretty quickly because we've got to go here in a little bit for a Halloween celebration here at the radio station.
Yes, I hope I win money.
Kelbin, you went out this weekend for Halloween. I saw you dressed up. You and your fiance Oscar were both Kens. How was that?
It was cute. I mean, Saturday was a full day. We were celebrating our friend's 30th birthday. And so it started at 12 to go to brunch at the Charlotte Beer Garden. And I had never been there. It was super cute. There was somebody, not one of my close or good friends, but someone around the vicinity, the gays. I had heard some tea about them being very messy when it comes to people in relationships. And in the past, and I'm going to keep it very general, in the past, he has danced with Oscar in front of me as I'm dancing with Oscar.
I remember this story.
Yes. And I felt a way about it, but I thought, whatever, not a big deal. He ends up getting invited to this birthday thing, and I didn't think anything of it. But as he's going down like the little brunch, the table, Oscar's first, and he's right next to me, and he goes up to Oscar, and he's like, "Oh, you're just so gorgeous, that face." And then he comes to me, and he goes, "Hey, how are you?" And then I was like, okay, I see what you're doing. So a few days ago, last week, a friend had told me he had an issue with this person. And I didn't think anything of it. Like I said, until I experience it, then I will put that on it. But now I know. Now I know what kind of girl he is. So it's fine. Let him try it again. Let him try it again. After that, he tried once again. Some weird conversation exchange happened at the table about where the seats are at this club we were going to go to afterwards, a drag show. And he was trying to interject. And I was like, can you stop? I'm talking to him. And then he left me alone after that. We hadn't talked throughout the whole day. We were fine. It was casual. But I told him, I was like, do you mind? I'm actually talking to him.
Girl.
No,
that
he
was
does
it.
not give a fuck.
No, because he was trying it. He was like, it was something about the seats. And I was like, oh, no, Shay, we have to get the seats in reserved. And so my friend was like, that's what I said. And so he goes in and he's like, that's what he said. And I said, thank you for the clarification. I was talking to him. So I was like, no.
Now, if I'm to play devil's advocate here,
Kelvin,
Go ahead. No, it's fine.
Miguel loves to take the other person's side in any kind of debate because he will slam me down.
Go ahead, girl.
If I feel like I'm worried about someone, he'll be like, Holly.
No, I'm here for it.
What if this person is having a bad day? Like, okay, Miguel, I can't wait for you.
Okay. No, I'm just saying, what if this person, and wouldn't it be a huge compliment that your partner, your fiance is so attractive that this guy is complimenting him and lusting after him, but at the end of the day, Oscar is engaged to you and is going home with you. So what's the harm in him flirting and not, flirting with you because he finds your fiance super attractive?
But that's not a compliment. That's a fact. So I don't understand why the disrespect needs to happen either way.
But
It's still disrespectful.
But how is it disrespectful for him to compliment him? Like now, if he was like, "Hey, Oscar," and like put his mouth on him, or like felt him up.
He put his face on him at the club in front of me while I was dancing with Oscar.
Like his face, we mean like he kissed him?
Not kissed him, but it was really weird. Like they were dancing and he put his face on him like this, like cheek to cheek, while Oscar was dancing on me. And then he starts smiling at Oscar.
He's an interloper.
So he knows what he's doing. And that's not the first time that I've heard he's done something like that with a couple. It's a power move.
So I was gonna say some people really get off on that.
Yeah.
Even if nothing happens,
Right.
right? They still get off on either A, causing tension between the couple,
Mhm.
or B, being that overly flirtatious person and not giving any F's about what anybody else thinks.
Yeah.
And just do what they want. No
But
respect,
That's what didn't make me upset and didn't make me go off on him was at the end of the day, like, you want my man, he's coming back home with me, and you're a messy girl who's still single. So that's why I didn't get upset. I was like, that's just the fact of it. So it was a great day. Other than that, we went to brunch. I had a good time. Then we went to our friend Corey's house party to celebrate him for a little bit. Then we went to the club. That was it. And I got back home like at midnight, like 12:30. So it was a long day, but
that's 12 hours of party.
that was 12 hours of partying.
Now, I know you've like calmed down and taken a seat back from drinking. Did you drink it all?
No drinking. I had like maybe one mimosa. I did take an edible though that kind of like numbed my feelings. But other than that, it was fine. The DJ was doing too much. Too many remixes. Like it wasn't even enjoyable.
Man, I hate a remix at the club. I
Mm.
want the beat to drop when the beat drops.
Correct.
And they never drop a beat. It's just one solid beat.
So
I don't like that.
but it was good overall. Like we were dancing there for a bit. I went to the outside of Argonne and I saw our friend who he like every time I see him and he's been drinking for a minute, his eyes are like half low and he's just a little like sometimes he'll be a little cranky. He was smiling from ear to ear. He just looked so happy, surrounded by all his friends and his close ones. So I was so happy that he had such a great birthday. And so at that point, I was like, all right, I love you so much. I'm out.
You're like, let's go out at the top, not the messy part at the end of the night.
Correct. Yes.
When people are like giant teddy bears being stuffed into a car.
Ooh, that's a very specific visual. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm so glad. Holly, how was your Halloween weekend?
It was good. So I mentioned, I think the other day that we did a podcast, it's my fiance's daughter's birthday weekend. And so, what would we do? It was like kind of like we all went and like celebrated with his family and did like, cake. And we did have very cheaply and very messily put together, like the four of us and the girls did like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle costumes together. Cause like traditionally we've always done like a Halloween birthday party for her. And I don't know, she may be growing out of it now, but we did like just plain green shirts and just masks. So we just did a little photo shoot like that, just to have the picture for posterity. So we did that. We took her bowling. She wanted to go bowling. Everybody was fine. Nobody threw a hissy fit or a huff. Fiance, who tends to do that sometimes if he's losing in bowling.
Press the button.
Oh, that's right. Shade.
And he didn't do very well actually, but he was fine. And so then we did that. We did the arcade. There were some I don't know what was going on at the arcade, but Maya and bonus girl, like they each got like 1,000 ticket wins on different things. And I was like, oh my gosh, so they got all these little absolutely shitty prizes that they get excited about. And then the next day we had actually like 4 or 5 years ago, his sister had like got us this dolphin cruise, and we had never like taken it, so we decided we're going to take it on Sunday. So we took a dolphin cruise.
Oh, how fun!
Which I can't really
That's
talk
awesome.
about because obviously in Charlotte there's no dolphin cruises, so we
Right.
were obviously in Tampa Bay area for that. We did see dolphins at the very end of the dolphin cruise, so that was a fun little excursion. That I mean, it was really cool. Like wasn't sure what to expect. It was just like an hour-long thing, but it's so nice to be out on the water. I never get to go. And Maya was like, I got mad at her, and I'm like, maybe this is just me. And so I ended up apologizing to her later because we were getting ready for the boat, and I'm momming at my mom 100%. Like, I'm like, do wear your sneakers on the boat?
Sunscreen.
Like, I'm like, we got sunscreen on faces. I know it's only an hour. And I'm like, have my little hat on. And she's like, Mom, no offense, but like, you're not really like a boat person. And I went and like, I don't know, it just hit me in the wrong spot. Probably some old issues with like her dad or something that got dredged up, like of her, like I'm not fun, whatever.
Not her bullying you.
Her, yeah. And like making fun of me that I'm not a boat person. And I was like, what is it? I just stopped and I was like, you think you're better than me? No, it really hurt. I can't help it. I had to make her know that she can't just be out here acting that way. I was like, you think you're better than me? Because you sound like you think you're better. Because I'm not a boat.
You told your 10-year-old daughter. You think you're better than me?
She immediately got it. And she goes, I'm sorry. I'm like, no, it's okay. No, it's okay. It's all right.
I know that rude. Tone from you. Like, there is a very specific tone Holly has when she is like, I don't give a F who is around me, what's going on. Do you think you're better than me? And it's so scary when Holly goes into it because you're like, oh shit, like disappointed no return.
Because it's like fun and games, and she pushes me hard a lot, and she's actually a very respectful girl, like for the most part. Like, she has an edge lately because she's getting to be a tween soon, and so when I was just trying to get all of our stuff together, and it's just like, her dad has a boat, right? They do. So like, they go out on the boat all the time. And like, back when I was with him, they had a boat, but I think I always felt like I didn't belong in that world. Like, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. Yes, we have a lake, but we weren't rich people with a boat. You had to be like a rich person to have a boat and go on Lake Erie, right?
Right.
So like, I grew up not in a boating thing on the water, and like, as Florida people, because her dad's, from Panama City and everything, they had boats. And I guess maybe somewhere deep down, I always felt like I didn't belong, or like I didn't fit in. And I'm not like, I'm truly not that outdoorsy. I do like being on a boat. Like, this was awesome. But obviously now, he's taking Maya on all these boat adventures, which, by the way, I think is great. That's part of her. Like, she's half that. And I love that they do these things together. But for her to be like, it just, it just felt like whatever part of me. And she's like, you're not a boat person. And I was like, you think you're better? Like, oh, I was mad. So after that, like, after I cooled down quickly, I went about my thing, and I came back and I was like, hey, I'm sorry that I said that. But that was a little bit rude. Do you think? She's like, yeah, it was a little rude. I'm like, it was just, it was unnecessary.
Yeah. Good exchange.
Right. Well, because I feel like that's a part of parenting, is teaching them what's appropriate and what's not.
Right.
Because your ex-husband, who I lived with for 5 years,
right.
I know his humor, and he's very sarcastic. And so that's going to be a part of her humor, which is fine, but also knowing that there are consequences to that type of humor as well.
Well, how people receive it, right? I know maybe if you mean it a type of way, but depending on your tone and depending on your relationship with the person and how a person might be feeling, like, these things matter. And you can't just be like, I'm just joking, because yes, you can laugh it off that way, but if you've hurt another person's feelings, you got to take some accountability for that. So anyway, I did think it was a good exchange. I just remember that now, but I felt bad. But also, it was rude. I'm still fun though. God. Anyway, so we did that. That was great. And then me and Maya, bonus girl went home for celebrating with her mom. And then Maya and I carved a pumpkin, made the pumpkin seeds, had a very like Halloweeny night. And then Maya watched Coraline, because Maya's been wanting to watch scary movies lately, and we're trying to dip our toe into like, what is too scary, what's a good amount of scary. And I remember, and Miguel, I think I did this in our apartment on when we lived in the apartment, the first one on like Royal Hunt or whatever.
Oh yeah,
I remember watching Coraline when it came out in like 09
Mhm.
on my desktop computer, and I felt like
Oh.
I was living,
Oh my
right?
gosh.
And I remember being creeped out by it then. And so we watched it on Sunday night, and Maya was freaked out by the end of it. And I'm like, ooh, was it too much? I'm like, I don't think it was too much. I think it was just good enough because I'm trying to introduce her to some scarier stuff at home. So if she's ever at a friend's house and they put on something insane, like she has a feel for what it feels like to be scared, you know, and she's not alone.
Right.
So we did that. And then, yeah, so it was overall a good weekend. And to wrap up my thing, we started and are in the middle of Fall of the House of Usher, which I love so far. God, what's his face is so good at psychological horror.
I've been like just spreading the word to everyone possible. I'm like, you have got to watch this show on Netflix. It is so good.
It is because
in your opinion, is it scary, Holly?
No, not really.
Okay.
Not really scary. I think there's a couple of jumps, like in the last episode that we just watched. I did one of these, like because it just you weren't expecting it.
Big jump scares.
But what he does, is it Mike Flanagan? Is that right?
Mike Flanagan, yeah.
What he does so well, because I saw Haunting of Hill House and Haunting of Bly Manor, and then I didn't know he did other ones.
Oh yeah, the Midnight's Club.
I need to write them down.
There's something else.
Yeah, and so then this is
Midnight
one.
Mass. Yeah,
I need to write those down. What he does so well is he weaves it where it's like, oh, this is scary, but it's psychological, and you start to think, well, why are these people? Why are they experiencing these scary things? What was the trauma that led to this? And so far it's really good. Plus, I'm very familiar with Edgar Allan Poe's works, and I love all the little call outs to his work that are intermingled. Like just the fact that there's a granddaughter named Lenore, which is from Quoth the Raven Nevermore, and like the Annabelle Lee poems and things like this. And they're just really, it's a cool. I can't wait. We're gonna binge it, the rest of it. I think we have 4 or 5 episodes left, and we're gonna binge it this weekend. So
so good.
So good.
I was in upstate New York for my brother-in-law's wedding, and it was so awesome. Except for the house, the Airbnb we stayed in. Now, upstate New York and that part of the world, the part of the United States, it's a very old city.
Yeah.
So like the house that we stayed in was built in like 1925. And so you can feel it. And there was parts of it that was like a little creepy. So it felt very much in line with like spooky season, since it was it wasn't a Halloween themed wedding, but it was on Halloween weekend. So that was really cool. And so we didn't, I mean, if you're from there, you know what I'm talking about. It's Troy, New York. So there wasn't a whole lot of things to do.
No, it's just that's where they wanted it.
But the venue was, oh my God, it was breathtaking. It was so perfect. So like the wedding was on Sunday. So Saturday, we didn't do anything. Like it was amazing. Like Abe, his best friend Tommy, and his partner Steven, we literally just went to the mall to get a few items for our outfits, and then we came back and we just relaxed the entire day.
Oh man, I love that.
And then it was like gray and rainy, and then like it was like the beautiful fall colors of the trees were outside. Like it was so nice. The only little hiccup, which I'm not mad at and I am like completely okay with, but it was like I caused a little bit of a kerfuffle in the wedding.
In the wedding?
This is like right before the wedding, which I didn't realize. So Abe was a groomsman in his brother's wedding. I wasn't, which is fine because he's a grown-ass man with a lot of friends, and I'm just the brother-in-law. And so so Abe had to be there at like 9 a.m. to do like all the wedding day stuff. And I was going with Abe's best friend, and we weren't going to get there until like 30 minutes before the wedding at 4:30, since the wedding was at 5. So we are like finding parking around 4:30, and then Abe calls me and he's like, "Where are you?" And I was like, "We're finding parking right now." And he's like, "You need to get here like right now, like have them drop you off." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Wait, did I miss something?" Because as far as I know, I was supposed to just show up for the wedding and that was it.
Right.
And he was like, everybody was like really upset, and just because they didn't have a wedding planner, so they were doing all this on their own. There was a lot of things. And so everyone thought that someone else had told me to be there for family pictures. And so everyone was like, "Where's Miguel? Where's Miguel? Where's Miguel?" And I'm just like getting ready at home or at the Airbnb, and everyone's like, "Oh." And then I was like, "Girl, it is fine. but like obviously Abe wanted me there. And so I got there, ran in, we took pictures. It was great. And then I felt bad because then my brother-in-law, Isaac, and his new wife, Kara, they both were like, we're so sorry. Like, we didn't mean to overlook you. And I'm like, I promise you, I'm not concerned whatsoever.
Right.
And you had got there. You got the picture.
Yeah, I got there, but they're just, this is how nice they are that like on their wedding day, they're apologizing to me. And I was like, stop it.
You're like, just
I'm fine.
do y'all thing.
I'm fine.
That's
I'm fine.
Aw,
But
that's
everything
so
was
sweet.
good. But it was just like a moment of like, I was like, did I fuck something up? What did I fuck up? Oh
Like
my
I don't have any instruction.
God.
So
All right, we got to go. They're looking in here for us to start the Halloween celebrations here at iHeartRadio Charlotte. We'll be back tomorrow with another podcast to talk more about our weekends and what's going on. Have a wonderful spooky season, and we will see you all later. Bye.
Miguel and Holly Uncensored.
Catch it on the iHeartRadio app or anywhere you listen to podcasts.